Hey guys, I can't sleep again. It's just about 7 in the morning, and I tried to go to bed at 3-ish. I started I put up my latest main channel video. I started writing that around, I don't know, I want to say 6. No, I was slacking off. I was half writing, maybe a tenth writing, and 9/10 slacking off. I finally got done. I started recording around 8. I didn't get done filming it until about 11, and then it was like 2.5 hours to edit. But I was really proud of it. It's been interesting for Monday and Wednesday. I've had ideas of what I wanted to do, and then when I sit down to write, just going, no, I don't like it, I don't like it, I don't like it. And so I've got like this stockpile of just things that I'd like to do, but I don't think I can make work well, and so I end up completely throwing it out and pulling something out of the air, and it seemed to turn out okay. I think I don't want to develop an ego complex, but I'm actually really proud of this one in particular, just because it was the sort of thing where I feel like it was actually like legitimate comedy writing, where it wasn't just me rambling about something, or I found an article about it was an article about a researcher who wanted to take Neanderthal DNA and find a surrogate mother and grow a Neanderthal, which is kind of a funny idea. And immediately when you think about it, you go, okay, well, there's people are going to be up in arms about it. It's going to be crazy, and obviously there'll be someone who'd want to do it, but everyone would be, oh, well, you can't do that. That's human rights violations and stuff. And I took it and I found a funny angle to it, and I knew that I wanted to do something to celebrate my 50th episode. So I found a way to get the 50th episode thing worked in there, and to tie it into the Neanderthal story. And so I managed to just find a funny angle to it, and then it wasn't long enough. So as I was just kind of writing and thinking about it, the expression of playing God came up. I was like, well, that's an interesting thought. And then I kind of wrote an extension on the playing God idea that kind of fleshed out the rest of the video. And I feel like it's I don't know, I'm excited about it, because I think it was the first one that's really just a very methodical approach to comedy writing, in that you find a subject, you find an angle, you find ways to transition between different bits of material, and that sort of thing. And I don't consider myself a comedy writer. I'm a vlogger, and in my previous videos I try to deliver things comically, and I try to throw in one-liners that come up to me either while I'm writing or sometimes while I'm shooting. But this is one where I'm like, yeah, I think I actually wrote this well. Which, I don't know, so it's a new thing for me, and I was excited about it. It took forever to shoot, just because, and Monday took forever to shoot too, just because on Monday I had to set up the black curtain, which in this apartment was a disaster, and then this one I had to set up a couple of different angles, and then I had to. It's really hard when you do clone shots, because then you have to set up the camera and get it to not autofocus and just set the focus. And it'd be easier if there was someone else there, because they could set it to focus on you and then leave it. But you've basically got to go back. I put something else. I got to put my iPad just there, roughly where I would be, and then focus the camera on it so it would be roughly where it was supposed to be, and then lock it, and then move the iPad and got out there and did the 2 shots and stuff. And there was makeup for that shot, and there was a couple of different. It's always hard when you're trying to time dialogue between two of yourselves, because you don't know quite the speed of how things are going to go, and it feels like it's cheating to just cut back and forth between everything. So it's you say your line and then you recite the other line in your head, so that you're pausing and reacting appropriately to the empty air, so that when you splice it up, it ends up okay. And I don't know. I think that one was, it took a little bit of finagling and edit, but I think I got it pretty close to what I wanted. But I don't know. I can't seem to sleep, and I started watching YouTube videos because that's kind of my, I have a little bit of a problem. It's a little bit of an obsession now. And I came across a video by it's an animated video of a talk by Ken Robinson, who speaks about education and how it really kind of marginalizes creativity, and part of the problem that we're trying to evolve education, but we're really basing it off of an industrial model of creating good workers and not necessarily creative thinkers. And he started talking about the idea of divergent thinking, which is, he gave an example of, if you ask, like they did a survey of a bunch of kindergartners, and they said, how many uses can you come up with for a paperclip? And most adults will come up with something like 10 to 15. Kids are able to come up with 200 because they'll say things like, well, can the paperclip be 100 feet tall and made out of foam rubber? I think I'm like directly quoting there. But it's just the whole idea of just thinking, having weird thoughts that wouldn't occur to other people. And the unfortunate thing is that as people get educated, it was like 98% of kindergartners scored as geniuses for divergent thinking, and then that just deteriorates as they grow up, which is unfortunate. And I think that's got to be a huge component in being able to come up with creative material for the type of stuff that I do. And so I was trying to think, well, what exactly can I do to try and encourage divergent thinking? Because a lot of times, if I get locked into an idea, it's really hard for me to find another way to approach it. My background is computer science. It's very procedural, and there are aspects of creativity in it, but it's very much of, how do I get the right answer? And so, I don't know. I was reading their ideas like journal or do free association or free writes or mind maps, that sort of thing. I was like, you know what? Vlogging counts as journaling, so thank you. You're helping me be creative. And I say thank you. I don't know if anybody's watching. I think it helps me to actually be able to address someone. I know that even when I sit down, and I rarely do this anymore, I should do more, but I used to just open up my laptop or open up a notebook in high school and stuff and just write, just kind of free write and ramble and kind of declare my thoughts. But it was always directed toward an audience. That it wasn't. It's I'm feeling this today. The thing that I really and it was always a conversational tone. It was never an essay, and I think I'm just more comfortable with that sort of format. So I don't know. I think this is helpful. It's YouTube is really weird. It's nerve-wracking, and it's stressful, and it's so much fun. There's and because I this is my 50th episode that I posted earlier, and I just got me thinking, and just how does it all work? What are the people? And part of that is just it's in vogue right now. Is that there's the Becoming YouTube series where everyone's looking at, well, what is it that makes up a YouTuber? Kind of just psychoanalyzing and meta-analyzing everything about YouTube creators, because it's a weird, it's a unique. I don't want to say career, because it's not a career for most people, but it's a unique passion for a lot of people, because there isn't a precedent there. If you want to be a painter now, there's a large group of people who have that experience, and you can read about the experiences of other painters. There's no Jenna Marbles hasn't written a memoir, which I think it'll be interesting in 30 years when we have all of these I don't know, has-been YouTube celebrities. Maybe, who knows? Maybe they won't be has-beens, but it'll be interesting when we're at that point. Just to kind of go back and read what those experiences have been like. So I guess I've been sort of thinking about it, and it's there's a theory, and I forget what it's called, but it's basically, it talks about people who play certain types of video games, and specifically massively multiplayer online games, and that there are different categories of people. There are the achievers, who they want to collect all the things, they want to get all the achievements, they want to complete everything. They're the explorers who just love kind of seeing everything that's been built into the game. There are the killers who are PvP, they're player versus player type of people. And then there are the, what is it? The social people that for whom the great experience of the game is being able to interact with everyone else in the system. And I think that can sort of be ported over to YouTube, that there are people who are there in order to engage with the community. There are people who are there to be professionals. There are people who are there to outperform others, and there are people who are there to achieve, that they want to have the numbers that validate what they do. And I feel like because when I thought about this with me and gaming, when I was a little bit too into online games, it was I was kind of a mix of all of them, and I kind of wavered back and forth between a lot of the different categories. Because I love interacting, and with YouTube, I think it's a little bit the same. I love interacting with people, but I can't deny that, if I woke up and I had 100,000 subscribers, I'd feel pretty damned awesome about myself, and I'd be finding ways to slip it into casual conversation with just about everyone I talk to, and I don't know. I feel bad about that. It's I know that about myself. That's the type of person I am. I would be really excited. I'd want to share that excitement, and so there is. There is a thrill when I get a bunch of new subscribers and stuff, and I don't know that I don't know how much that affects the content that I produce. There's certainly I think if it was strictly a matter of wanting to interact with people, or strictly a matter of just wanting an outlet for creative stuff, I wouldn't produce stuff 3 times a week necessarily. Now, granted, producing stuff on a very regular schedule has been fantastic for me. When I was doing stuff once a week, it was, every week you have no idea. And now it's just, okay, well, this is the process. You sit down, you figure something out, and the creativity is just sort of there on standby because it knows, well, this is the time to be creative. And I think it works out pretty well. I'm going to check the battery on this. Okay, I swore this was going to be a shorter video than my last one, because I tend to ramble. It's disgusting. But I don't know, I guess not. But I guess for the YouTube stuff, it's interesting, and it's hard. There's sort of a maximum almost in how social you're able to be, because I follow maybe 120 people, or subscribe to about 120 people, and I get email notifications when anybody leaves a comment, when anybody subscribes, and I tend to, whenever I get a bunch of subscribers, I look at what they've been looking at and try and figure out, well, where did that come from? Is there someone that I should, send a message and say, I just wanted to thank you for the shout out or the recommend or whatever. And if someone leaves a comment, a lot of times I'm able to recognize their username, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's that person. If they haven't commented in a while, I can be like, hey, good to see you, or stuff like that. But there's obviously a pretty fast upper limit to that sort of thing, and even just trying to if I were to collaborate with everyone, I mean, you can't collaborate with everyone, but if I were to try and support everyone, if I were to try and watch everyone's videos, you can't do it. And so it's hard. There's very much a limit to how you're able to be social on the platform. And I wonder if there's a way, because I don't know, because I look at I look at Vlogbrothers, I look at other channels that are really successful, and the ability for people within the communities to interact with each other is great. The ability for people to participate in the Project for Awesome is great, but there's no way that John and Hank Green can make an individual nerd fighter at random feel, truly connected to them, feel like they're necessarily being heard. It's a matter of, well, okay, we're listening to the crowd as opposed to the individual. So I don't know. That's something I sort of want to play around with. But it's also, I mean, it's a little nerve-wracking because I really, really enjoy being able to have a personal connection with individual YouTubers, and it's amazing. And there's just that selfish part of me that, if my subscriber count does keep picking up, it's going to become prohibitive. That there will be people that I don't think that I'll forget. The people who are subscribed to me now, the people who I already know now, I think they'll stand out from the crowd. But if I end up with, say, 2,000 subscribers, I don't know that I'll be able to keep that up, and I don't want to. The selfish part of me wants to have 2,000 subscribers. The selfish part of me wants to have 1,000,000 subscribers. I think there's probably a point where it's like, well, it's just a number at this point. It doesn't really matter. I think once I get to the point where I post something and the view count sticks at 302, that's probably good enough. Maybe, and honestly, that may just be a matter of posting things at the right time of day. But so I don't know. I guess I'm wondering what exactly what I'm going to look like in 6 months or a year or 2 years, because I plan to keep doing this for a very long time. And if I continue to kind of pick up traction and stuff, I don't know. It's going to be an internal conflict between the desire to be successful, sort of the achievement-oriented thing, and the desire to truly interact with people. I don't think it won't be a diminishing of social interaction, but it will be I won't be able to increase the number of people I can interact with, which I don't know, makes me a little sad, and so I wonder if that's a little bit of a betrayal. But well, yeah. So I can't sleep. That's pretty much the summary, and my brain has just been going with all these stupid ideas. And yeah, I'm waiting to see how the video does, because that's what I do. I posted it late, so it didn't get it didn't really get much of the well, I mean, it got some people, but it didn't get a huge amount of the the late night US audience, just because people tend to be asleep at 2 in the morning. So yeah, have an awesome. I guess today is, God, what day is it? It's Wednesday. Yeah, because I post things the night before. It's Wednesday, so have an awesome Wednesday. Bye.